Good afternoon, guys. I'm here with the Sidelines podcast from the Cardinal and Cream. I'm John. I'm here with
Solomon.
and we're going to discuss the Masters. Kind of Roy McIlroy winning a second Masters in a row, and kind of all that. Like, is he one of the greats now? Yeah, kind of like that. So, kind of just going. He won back-to-back Masters. Really impressive. He's the fourth person to ever do this.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack Nicklaus, obviously like a legend.
Yeah.
Nick Faldo, kind of an underrated legend who was very good. Tiger Woods, probably the greatest golfer of all time, and now Roy McIlroy. Like, what do you think about this?
I remember I looked at something. It was like, wasn't it like super close? Like he barely won this one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
it was.
Like
he had a 6-shot lead going in the midpoint. It was when they cut everybody off.
Yeah.
The worst half, and it was like his to lose. And he a couple guys overtook him on the last day, but he came back and won.
Yeah. I think that's a great achievement. I mean, 2 back-to-back. I'm not too much of a golf person, but in like perspective of like any sport I know, winning something back-to-back solidifies. Yeah.
So impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him, it took him 17 years playing the Masters, I believe. 17? 17 years to finally win one, and then this was his 18th year playing.
Okay.
So, like, how do you think, like, I don't know how, you ever play golf very much, or you just kind of watch it every once in a while?
I've watched it a few times. I've played mini golf, but like, yeah.
Mini golf, so golf's pretty hard, but like, how do you think just like playing it year in, year out has helped him at some point to get to where he is now?
He obviously played probably prior to becoming a professional. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, now he has 17 years of, like, professional, and he's one of the best, you know? So it took him 17 years to win his first Masters. Kind of a long time. I don't know how long a golfer's career really is.
Yeah, so usually kind of 35-ish is kind of like the twilight. You kind of start to go downhill from there.
After 35 years old?
Yeah, and he's been playing. He dropped out of high school at 16 to pursue professional golf. I believe he debuted at around 18 or 19 on the tour. But he's been a golf prodigy for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just, I think it's really impressive for a guy to play that much and just now win. Like,
is he like you said he was a prodigy. So is he like, obviously he's coming out of high school, he's young. Was he like touted to be like great from early on, or?
Yeah, so he was pretty highly touted. Of course, Tiger Woods, everyone's gonna like live in his shadow, and the early part of Roy's career he did, and he completed the career Grand Slam last year, so he's had some wins. He's won the Open, he's won all these different tournaments, but he just never could do it at the Masters, and he finally got over that hump last year, and it brought him into this year. And one kind of perk you get with winning the Masters is you get to join Augusta National, and you can play whenever you want.
Yeah.
And he used this perk, or exploited, depending on who you ask. He played. He took 2 weeks off of just the tour to go. He's from Florida, so he flew in from Florida to Augusta every day for 2 or 3 weeks to play the Augusta's course in preparation for the Masters.
That's the course that they use for Masters.
Augusta National.
I mean, it's not. I won't say he's exploiting it. I mean, it's a benefit that he gets for winning the Masters. That obviously puts him at an advantage over the other competitors. So, yeah, I mean, he's not exploiting anything.
Yeah. So you're an athlete. You know, you do you do anything to.
Yeah.
Like,
so like
win in like preparation.
Yeah. So I know like for us, like if we had the opportunity, say we travel for a game, and say we get there a day early, we'd go to West Florida and play on their field to see how their field is in preparation for the game. So that's basically what he's doing, you know.
Yeah. To me, I mean, it's a little. I feel like everyone can do it. That kind of sucks. But at the same time, he put the work in for years to even be able to go play there.
Yeah.
I think that's a little fair. So kind of going into, is he one of the greats now? He's completed the career Grand Slam. He's won 2 Masters.
Yeah.
One thing, something that only 3 other people have done. Is he one of those like greats of all times?
I researched it and I saw somebody say he's one of the best of his era.
Oh,
but there's a lot of, I thought about it in like basketball terms, soccer terms. There's a lot of players that are the best of their era, but you won't consider them an all-time great. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then they were like, is he on the cusp of? He's obviously one of the best of his era, but is he an all-time great in the same conversation as Tiger Woods or something like that?
Yeah.
You know.
In my opinion, Tiger's the MJ of this.
Yeah.
Yes. If you could equate Rory kind of maybe to an NBA or a soccer player now, who would you kind of like relate him to? Being like a guy on the cusp of maybe like greatness, like being an all-time great, but he's one of the best players of our era.
There's a few. I would say maybe like a Giannis. You know, maybe a Giannis, maybe a Jokic. I mean, with Jokic's skill set, you could already call Jokic one of the greats. Yeah. So I'd probably say a Giannis. Yeah. You know?
Giannis? I think that's a good comp.
Because, you know, Giannis as well, kind of, I just thought about this. Giannis was always good, but he didn't, like, win a championship till he was, like, in his 30s. So, like, or maybe, I don't know if he was in his 30s, but he didn't win once, like, the 2020.
He'd been playing for, like, you know, he came as an 18-year-old. He won it probably 29. That's 11 years, you know.
So it took him
a while.
It's
about the same in golf terms.
Yeah, so it took him a while to win his first championship. And I think Giannis has 2 rings. I think
it's just one.
Just one ring?
Just one. But he's been close so many times. Yeah.
So, yeah, I compare him to Giannis. But also, would you call Giannis one of the greats of basketball?
Probably not, but he's one of the best players. I think it's a great comp. I agree with that. So do you think, kind of going back to like when he gets this greatness declared, like Giannis won his ring, you can compare it to that. But like, do you think he became one of the greats when he won the Masters last year after completing the career Grand Slam, which is something not a lot of people have done, or this year is it just happened later? I personally think like he did this year. He showed greatness. He showed how great he was last year doing the career Grand Slam. But I think he just by far he took it like I'm one of the greatest players now because I've done something.
To take it away from like just winning the Masters, if you look at his performance, I mean he was clear of everybody, and he said he lost the lead. Yeah, and then he comes back and wins it. I mean that's
kind of do like a little summary. He came in last day tied for first place. One guy he was tied with double bogeyed. So
Wasn't that Scheffler?
No, so Scheffler always starts like middle of the pack on the last day and charged like a bull. Okay. So Scheffler did that and went from I think 8th to 2nd.
Okay.
This guy, he was tied, double bogeyed, and he just couldn't survive. The other guy, Cam Young, kept up with him for a few, overtook the lead for 2 holes, and then fell. And then, oh my gosh, what's his name? Let me look that up real quick.
Okay.
He had never won one. He's kind of out of his prime. Leaderboard. It's not Jason Day. I'm blanking on the name, but let me look at the leaderboard real quick. Justin Rose, kind of older guy. He ended up finishing in 3rd, tied with 2 other guys who just couldn't keep up. But for I think about 2 holes, Rose was in the lead, 2 strokes up, looked like it was his. And he just had some bad putts, just bad shots. The pressure got to him at the end of the day, and I think what Roy did a good job of is like I think he expected to have some faults. Like he's been there before. He knows what it takes to win. He expected to have some faults in that last round, and so he like dug a hole. He built up. He was ready for that hole to start digging and digging. Yeah. And he was able to survive because of that. And that's something that like Scheffler. He was 2 or 3 under the first day. Roy was like 5. Like Roy was just playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And had a huge lead, and it started to go down, and then he had that clutch gene. You know, something
it's a sign of greatness.
It's a sign of greatness. Another thing it points to his greatness. He clutched up, fended off Scheffler, fended off Russell Henley, and Tyrell Hatton, Rose Young. All these guys that were charging on the last day, he was able to say like. Bat him off.
That's a sign of greatness. I feel like if you look at other sports and you look at guys you consider great, they all have moments where they're being tested and they're being tried, and they all come out on top, and that's what makes them a great. So off that basis, outside of his 2 Masters won, because I remember you said only, 4?
He's the 4th player to ever win 2 in a row.
Yeah. So then, but obviously he only has 2 Masters, and then those other guys, like Tiger Woods, has a plethora of Masters, right?
He has, I think, 5.
5?
Which is still a lot.
Yeah.
But they, like, with which I'm interested to see if they do this. So, and after, I believe, I think I have it pulled up. After 2002 is when he won his 2nd, Tiger. They Tiger-proofed the course because he was so good at specifically what the course, like, you needed to be successful at Augusta at that point. They changed the whole thing up.
Because of Tiger.
Because he was just it wasn't close. So you go back and look at the scorecard. I don't know the numbers off my head, but it wasn't very close with anybody.
Yeah.
At least one of those years. The other year I think he might have had going in the playoff, but like it wasn't even close. And so they Tiger-proofed it, and it caused some other players to come and win one. And Tiger ended up winning a couple more. I think his last one was in 2019. That really great comeback.
Okay.
After all that's happened with him, and then now it's happening back.
Is Rory in his prime, or is he?
That's a great question. I would say Rory is near the end of his prime.
Okay.
But this kind of goes into like one of the points I had up here. Has he reached his peak? Is this the peak with Rory? I think going back to the Masters, we saw like Tiger have multiple peaks.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we see him have another peak, but I don't know for a guy like Rory to just now get there. But is this his peak? I don't know. What do you think?
I think Tiger Woods, in my eyes, is sports. If you look at sports in general, there's always one or two players that are an anomaly. Mm-hmm. So like LeBron and MJ are your anomalies. Mm-hmm. Tiger is your anomaly.
Oh yeah.
Lionel Messi and Ronaldo are your anomalies. Tom Brady's your anomaly. And you also have guys like Rory, which seems like in this conversation, where are you going to be that anomaly? I don't think so. Because it's kind of like if you look at guys, let's say if I use basketball, for example. Actually, I'm going to use soccer because I'm a little bit more soccer. Mm-hmm. There's a guy called Kylian Mbappe who is probably the best skill-wise in the world right now. And from when he was young, he was touted to be the next great. Like, he was supposed to be the next GOAT. He's now 27. He hasn't won a Ballon d'Or, which is like the pinnacle of like a personal. It's like the MVP in the NBA. He hasn't won one yet, and he's 27. And like you start to fall off, especially as an attacker, because you lose your speed and everything, athleticism, around like 30, 31. So he has a good few years left. Mm-hmm. And he was touted to be just up there with Messi and Ronaldo. But now it's like he's not quite there yet. Is this his peak? You know, is his peak, maybe he wins one, because Messi has like 7. Ronaldo has 5. Is his peak just 1 or 2? I think it's the same with Rory. I think he might be. I think it's one of those cases where like he's not an anomaly. He's a really, really, really good player, and he's probably the best of his era. But he's not. He's not
so
quite.
By anomaly, you just mean someone who can go out there and control like whatever they can do.
Yeah, like if you look at MJ, I mean, he has what six rings, right? Mm-hmm. How many players besides like Bill Russell? I mean, exclude that. MJ's a heck of a player. He's probably the best player ever in basketball. So, and he has 6. So he's obviously that anomaly.
So
and Tiger Woods,
is like
he's
your
the anomaly.
MJ comparison. Yeah. Okay.
So is Rory gonna be like? I would say. Yeah, I don't think Rory's gonna be an anomaly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In sports.
Yeah, I'd say I like your Giannis take with him. I think he's very good. I think he's very skilled. I think he might have found a little hack here, and this is the only thing like, or his peak he might win like 3 in a row just because he was able to. The first 2 days you played 36 holes. Mm-hmm. He hit the fairway, which is like when you hit it, it's like the area you want to hit it in. Mm-hmm. He hit that like 13 or 14 times. And
then after that, after hitting the fairway, it's pretty much just an easy, not easy.
It's easier than being in the rough, in the trees.
Okay.
But he recovered from a lot of good shots because going back to he played for 2 weeks. He knew the course in and out better than I think anyone else did, except maybe like Jack Nicklaus, who's way like he's an 82-year-old man, but he just knows the course. He's been playing it for so long.
Yeah.
It's just some like little advantage. Like even when I go play golf. Like some of my buddies that are, like live here, like they're better at a course than I am because they've grown up playing that course. When I play a course back home, I'd be better than them. So he's just familiar with the course. Yeah. In a way, I don't know. I'm not attuned to golf history, but I haven't seen anyone like obviously no one's won twice in a row that much. Mm-hmm. But I don't think anyone's like created a cheat code like this.
Yeah.
Because like always you play every week on the tour.
So you think because of that, so say next year he's gonna be at the Masters again. Right?
Yes, he's automatic.
Yeah, he's automatic.
Once you win the Masters, you can come back, even if like you're not on tour anymore.
Yeah, so you can come back to the Masters, and then because of that same perk, he can come play 2 weeks before again, unless they like they ban that. Yeah.
I think it's just like, hey, like it's an advantage I have because I've won. I put the work in.
Yeah, and it's not like in a some sense of being an athlete, you might want to say, a little bit of your ego comes through, and you're like, you know what, I don't want, but it's like. That's an advantage you could take, and as an athlete, you should take it. Like if you have for union soccer, if you have an opportunity, Spring Hill, they had a pretty bad year. If you have an opportunity to smack Spring Hill, go and smack Spring Hill. It's the same principle that kind of the same principle that he has here. He has an advantage against all his other opponents that would put him at he's not thinking about any of the other guys. He's thinking about his legacy. Him winning the Masters, he doesn't care about somebody else winning the Masters. Yeah. So why not use that advantage?
Yeah, and I feel like I've seen him. A lot of people on like social media and stuff like that's not fair. Like he still almost lost. Like last year, he went on a playoff with the same guy almost caught up and beat him. Like,
Scheffler.
Not Scheffler. It was I always blank on his name.
Scheffler's the only other guy though. So
yeah, it's where'd it go? Rose, Justin Rose, and him went to playoff last year.
playoff is just like them two.
So like they finished the exact same score, and so you kind of a playoff until someone wins a hole.
Okay.
So like there's a lot of famous ones. It's really interesting.
So the past 2 years he was kind of close to not winning the Masters. So the 2 times he's won it, it's been like close.
Yes, it's not the Tiger level, which goes back to your point about like him being like a Giannis. He's not the Tiger point of domination. At Tiger's peak, he was dominating everybody this much.
Yeah.
He won by 1 stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was up. He hit, I don't know. Scheffler missed a putt at the end that could have sent them to a playoff. I know McIlroy probably plays that last hole a little differently, but like going in like there was plenty of shots where McIlroy just was the better golfer that day. Like that last hole, he drove off, terrible lie, got on the green, he parred the hole. You know, like that's hard to do.
Yeah. And
I think he did a really good job about digging himself out of holes. I think that. Knowing the course obviously made a difference. I think just that clutch gene, you know, he's a great player and he showed his greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with every player, if you think about sports, there was an era where they're dominant, where like it's inevitable we're gonna win. And I'm sensing with Rory, that's not really the case. I mean, he knows after his first Masters win. So the first Masters win, it seems like he almost lost.
It was a good match. So him and Justin Rose, I believe he just beat him in the playoff. You know, it was a good little competitive match, but he did it. And something he just talked. It was all over the news last year, and just like how he's played. Like there's a video of him chipping into his mom's washing machine as a kid to practice. Like he's put the work in.
Rory.
Yeah, Roy's put so much work in to be that moment. It's really cool to do that.
Yeah.
As someone who particularly doesn't like Rory very much, I think he's a cool golfer. I don't really have a problem with him. I don't hate him, but he's not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool for him to like do this. It's like it's one of those things you can tell your grand hey, I remember Roy going back to back, and that's something like not a lot of people can say that they witnessed.
I think maybe because I don't understand golf as much, I'm thinking about it. His performance in these 2 Masters, you know, if you think about what's a good athlete to compare him to, or an athlete super dominant, I'll go like with soccer, Cristiano Ronaldo and Real Madrid. They won 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues. No other club in the history of soccer has ever done that. 3 back-to-back.
Yeah, it's impressive.
So, and it's like in those wins in the finals that they played in to win the Champions League, they killed those teams. And those teams that they played, respectively, were the best teams at the time, and they killed them, absolutely killed all of them. So I'm thinking about it from that perspective. And then throughout their whole campaign for the Champions League, every game they played, they more or less killed everybody. It was like they're winning games by 3-0. Ronaldo scoring like 15 goals in a Champions League season, which is
a lot, right?
Because you play the tournament is like 16 goals. So he's scoring a goal a game. I think there was one campaign where he had like 20 goals, which you're scoring like twice a game pretty much. So he was going ridiculous. So I'm thinking with Rory, I'm looking at it from what you're saying is like his first Masters was super close. But obviously to still be able to come out and win that is impressive in itself. And then the second year, he has a little bit of an advantage. He is super experienced with golf. I mean, he's been playing for 17 years. But yet again, it was still kind of close in a way. So I'm thinking, is he really as dominant as like a Tiger Woods? Because you said before they had a proof.
Tiger-proof.
Yeah, they had Tiger-proof the curse, so he couldn't win because he was just killing everybody.
He's dominant.
So I mean, he's great. I think. Back to my question. I think Rory's great for a different reason, maybe not being dominant, but maybe just purely the fact that he's achieved something in golf that many others can't achieve. And because of how hard he's worked at his craft.
Yeah. And people who are like saying playing it for 2 weeks is kind of absurd and kind of ridiculous. I think it's just like you have to put the work in. Like success isn't just given to you. Like he still had to play well.
Yeah. Unless you're I mean there's some players
freak.
If he's like LeBron James, he's 6'9", like 230.
But he still has to put the work in
and
stay in shape. Like you see like all these busts in the NFL and stuff, like they don't want to put the work in. And I think he really put the work in.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's another flip side of greatness, because I feel like a lot of people always look at somebody's talent and it's like, well, back to the saying, which is true, sometimes true, hard work always beats talent, right? Yeah. In some cases that's true, some cases it's not true. That's a different conversation. But looks like with Rory, LeBron, guys like that, they also have to work hard. That's a flip side of greatness. Greatness isn't just something that comes about just because you're good at something. A lot of people are good at something. Like there's a lot of people that have been good at basketball. Like Andrew Wiggins, Ben Simmons, they were supposed to be the next great. And guess what? Where did they go?
didn't want to put the work in. They didn't want to develop their game.
Yeah.
I think that's what Rory's done. The Masters is historically a really hard course. You need to be good at spinning balls and all this stuff, and ultimately just recovering when you make bad shots.
Yeah.
Rory did the best.
Yeah.
And so kind of to summarize it, if Rory comes back and wins a third Masters in a row, where do you think that propels him? Because no one's ever done that before.
Puts him in
the greatest Masters player of all time.
Probably, yeah. Because I feel like I actually had this conversation with my roommates last night. We were talking about like LeBron and MJ. LeBron's probably the best basketball player ever, but Jordan's probably the greatest. So I think in that situation, you could probably say Rory's the greatest Masters player because nobody's ever done that.
He's the best. Yeah. I'd say personally, he's the best Masters prime. If he wins 3 in a row, even 2 in a row, you can have that conversation just about dominance. But if he wins 3 wins, I think he's the greatest Master prime. But you see, like Tiger's 5.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say he's the best player to play the Masters, but he had that prime of the Masters.
Has anybody else won that many, or is it just Tiger? Tiger just won 5.
Here, I can look it up. Tiger, I know, has 5. I'm not exactly sure. Let's look that up. Jack Nicholson has won 6.
Okay.
He was one of the back-to-back guys. He won in 63, 65, 66, 72, 75, and 86.
Okay.
Such a long career for him. But
yeah.
He's one of the greatest of all times.
Okay.
Tiger's won 5. He's very good. He won in 97, 2001, 2002, 2005, 2019.
So I think for Rory, that'll put him in that type of stratosphere of golfer, put him in that conversation with Tiger Woods and John Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson, yeah.
Jack Nicklaus. I'm sorry, I always say Nicholson. This is the guy in the movie. Nicklaus.
You're good.
Yeah. But yeah. And other things that happened, we saw some really heavy competitors like Bryson DeChambeau. He didn't make the cut. He shot 4 over, and so that kind of brings into question or it talks about how name doesn't mean you're good at things. You're gonna compete well and have success.
Yeah.
So he didn't make it. A lot of well-known people. Ricky Fowler, another big name who didn't even make the Masters cut this year.
Okay.
Yeah, just a lot of very different Masters that I feel we haven't seen champion in 20 plus years, the back-to-back champion 20 plus years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had a good Masters thing. Does this conversation make you want to go watch more golf or?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, during the whole time I would sit down with my roommates and they'd explain okay, this is happening. I'm like, okay, seems like a long event.
It's long.
It's a long event.
Yeah, and that's another thing that makes Rory's win so impressive. They play for I think he teed off at 2 Eastern and they finished at 6 Eastern. That's 4 hours of competitive. So you don't have a time. In between holes, kind of take a breath, but you don't have a time just to I'm gonna rest for 30 minutes before I go do more.
Yeah. So I think, it was actually pretty interesting watching a little bit of it, and then obviously talk about it now. I mean, now it's next year when the Masters come around, and if Rory, I mean, he's gonna be in it automatically. So is he gonna win the third one? That'll be a kind of a big deal to watch.
So do you think his greatness is affecting how people who's gonna watch it?
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Like you, who's not a big golfer, I'm gonna watch it no matter if Rory's playing it, Rory's in the hospital with a broken leg. I'm gonna watch it. But for a guy like you, knowing the story, talking more about it right now, does it make you want to watch it again?
That's a big sports topic. I mean, if you, for example, I'm not a big football guy, but you always turn into the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You always tune into it. Or say most people don't watch basketball for the whole season until the playoffs come around. Or same thing with soccer with the World Cup. People don't tune in until the World Cup happens. So I think now it's is this guy going to win his third? I mean, if you look at the World Cup, because they also do it with soccer, there's 2 big players, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi's now won his World Cup, so he's now kind of solidified himself as probably the greatest. Well, now is Ronaldo going to win his World Cup? That's a major talking point. Is he finally going to be able to win it? So, yeah, I think for sure, 100%,
Yeah, that's great. So Masters, great time, always a fun watch. Solomon will be watching next year. Y'all should be watching next year. It'll be good. You going to watch any more golf events as they go on throughout the summer?
Maybe not because World Cup is going to be on. So that's gonna take a lot of.
But but golf is something I think anyone can watch on the weekends, and it's once you figure it hey, this is what a stroke is. It's pretty easy to understand.
I'll probably go play some golf. I've actually never played golf. Yeah.
Golf is hard, but as I started playing seriously this last into the summer, and I'm hooked. You hit a good shot, and you want that feeling good. Yeah.
I know because I know all my teammates to go and play. Like if they have a weekend free, they're all playing golf. So
it's fun. Yeah.
And guys are always like, "Yo, do you have any extra golf putts or something?
Clubs?
Like, clubs. Yeah.
It's a fun time. Golf is, but I mean, it kind of just puts into perspective how like great these guys are. Because my best round isn't anywhere close to like the 66 Rory shot on day 2, like or day 1. But like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of sports as well. Even playing in college. You watch a professional match and like, oh, these guys are a step ahead.
Oh, yeah, by far. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in to the Sidelines, a Cardinal and Cream podcast. I'm John. I'm here with Solomon. I enjoyed talking to you guys about the Masters and all it encapsulates with Rory's back-to-back win. So make sure to stay close. Maybe check out a few more of our other podcasts, whether it be the Sidelines or any of our other ones. A lot of great stuff going on there. Thank you to all that helped make this possible. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nora.
Thanks, Nora. All right. Sweet.